And we're going. It's all yours, Scott.
All right, awesome. Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Today is July 15th. As we know it, today is the last day, or not the last day. I mean, for those of you that like to file extensions, it's not the last day to file your taxes this year, but it's the actual day. It's 3 months from April 15th. It was extended by the IRS. We don't know if they're going to re-extend it for those that are not able to get it in today. Hopefully if we don't hear anything, then, today's the day. So lucky all the CPAs and accountants that thought they would normally have the summer off. They don't. Today is the day. My name is Scott Rogowski. I'm the director of the NorCal SBDC Small Business Development Center Finance Center. This is our Monday, Wednesday updates for you. We used to do these for those of you that have joined us a couple times or more than a couple times. This is our 42nd session, and we used to do these every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but this week is our first week of trying something new. We're just going to do Monday, Wednesdays, and because there's not a whole lot of stuff changing with PPP or EIDL every week, and then that way we give everybody a Friday off. You get time back in your day for Friday. This is our small business town hall, disaster relief loan updates brought to you by NorCal, Northern California SBDC Network, and the Finance Center. We are all in this together. So this is a quick introduction. Northern California SBDC, so Small Business Development Centers have been around 40 years this year. And we are a federally funded program from SBA, Small Business Administration. We're lucky to have some representatives from the local SBA office in Sacramento, out of Citrus Heights. We have Janelle Green, and then we also have the interim Deputy Director, Carrie Ellenwood. So we'll get to SBA a little bit later, but they're on the call, so thank you for joining. So we're funded federally, mostly federally funded, then also state funded by the Governor's Office of Economic Development, which is called GoBiz. Because of this funding, we come to you, small business owners, entrepreneurs, startups, organizations at no cost. There's no fee to work with us one-on-one. It's 100% confidential for you to work with us and our advisors, our consultants, and provide. We also provide workshops and educational webinars, which you'll find out a little bit later about some of the ones that we have coming up. Those are also at no cost. And Northern California SBDC Network, we cover the most 36 northern counties of the state. We go from the Oregon border down the coast to Santa Cruz. We cover all 9 counties of the Bay Area. We go southeast to Stockton, then back up through the the Nevada border and then the Oregon border. So pretty large territory. We have lots of we have 18 centers in our region. So if you know where you are located within those 36 counties, we have centers all throughout the region that you can go to locally and get help immediately if they're at capacity or they're not able to help you with some of the new updates with EIDL and PPP and state loan guarantee and then any other loan that gets created tomorrow or in the near future. Then you can come to us. You can come to myself. You can come to, I'm an associate director. Her name is Sunita Maharaj. She's also on the call. She's going to help answer questions at the end and answer questions as I talk and kind of go through some updates. But we have a team of about 50 advisors all throughout the region. They're kind of spread out. They're remote. And they are there for you and the centers and whomever needs help with helping to navigate the arduous process of getting financing for a business existing or startup. And that's what we do at the Finance Center. All right, so quick agenda. We're going to go over a disclaimer. We're going to go over a quick chart that we kind of put together for EIDL and PPP, kind of like a side-by-side comparison. We'll talk about some local and national PPP lenders. We'll go over the state loan, guaranteed disaster loan, a little bit about direct city county loans, what we can do for you to help you get money, and then some SBA financing, I guess SBA financing platforms or tools or stuff like that, and then SBA update, and then Q&A. So here we go, disclaimer. So things are changing all the time. This information was correct when I put the presentation together, but things are changing all the time. EIDL has reopened back up for all types of businesses, including 501c3, 4, and 6, without the advanced feature. So the advanced feature which was essentially kind of like free money for $1,000 for every employee, up to $10,000. That was an option when you applied previous to Saturday the 12th or Sunday the 12th. So the advance is no longer available. If you're in the queue to get an advance, SBA will let you know if you're still there. Are we still available to get one? If you're not, they'll tell you. But there's no longer a box to apply for the advance. It's only just the loan. PPP, which is Paycheck Protection Program, it sunsets August 8th currently. This is the third. It's not the third tranche of money. This is the third date of what's it called? Third date of expiring the program per se. But they didn't add more money. This actually is money left over from the second tranche, which is about 120 billion. That's also opened back up for all types of businesses, including 501c3. So you can see here that EIDL is for C3, 4, and 6, and PPP is just for C3. We want you to not hesitate to apply for EIDL or Triple P, depending on what you hear in the marketplace, or what you heard on the news, or what you hear from your friends and family, or what you hear from business advisors, or what you hear from whomever, your mom and dad, your business partner. I don't know. Don't hesitate to apply, because nobody really knows if you're going to get approved. Nobody knows except for the lender. EIDL is SBA and PPP is your local lender. So don't hesitate to apply. Don't disqualify yourself from applying. Lenders are starting to come forward for Main Street. They're not super excited about it yet, but there's a handful maybe. And then there's this disclaimer on the bottom that you all have access to. You could read it. I'm not going to read it unless Alan tells me I have to.
No.
All right, just have to post it. Okay. All right. Well, you all have. You can see it here. You can download the presentation and read it. But that's another disclaimer. So here's a quick side-by-side comparison for EIDL and PPP. You can see the rate. You can see the term. The rate is 2.75 for nonprofits for the EIDL, 3.75 for for-profits. The PPP is 1% for everyone. Term is 30 years for EIDL for everyone. PPP, before June 5th, everybody got a 2-year. After June 5th, everybody gets a 5-year. If you are in the mix of before June 5th and you want to switch from 2 to 5, you just have to go to your lender and talk to him and negotiate the 5-year, which isn't that hard to do. Just got to get in there and make it happen. Payment deferral for EIDL, it's you don't have to make a payment until the 12th month. Interest does accrue within the first 11 months. PPP, you don't have to make a payment until 10 months after your cover period. So your cover period can be 8 weeks or 24 weeks. Before June 5th, it was all 8 weeks. But if you had money that rolled over past June 5th and you were in your 8 weeks, then you get to choose to extend it to 24 weeks, or as long as it takes for you to spend your money between 8 and 24. If you spend it in 10 or 16 or 18.5 or 22.3 weeks, it doesn't matter. It's just any time in between 8 and 24 that you spent your money and that you got back up to FTE, full FTE that you had before February 15th. It doesn't matter. Anytime in that time frame, 8 and 24 weeks, you can spend your monies. And your lender, you get to choose 8 or 24. And regardless of what your lender says is true or not true, they don't make the rules. The government does, the Treasury and the feds and whomever made the rule. It's a law. It's not a rule. It's a law. So it doesn't matter what the bank says. They're wrong. Don't listen to your bank. If they tell you that you can't choose 8 or 24, they're wrong. Just tell them that Scott Rogowski said they're wrong. So collateral personal guarantee. EIDL collateral is required over $25,000. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. They're not going to take it if you don't have it. They're not going to take your kids. But if you do have a house, they may ask for it. Personal guarantee over $200,000. So anything under 200, there's no personal guarantee. But if it's over 25, they are going to ask for collateral. If you have it, great. If you don't worry about it. PPP, you don't need collateral or personal guarantee, which is kind of cool because it's an SBA loan. And usually you always need a personal guarantee for an SBA loan. I mean, guaranteed. But for PPP, you don't. It's kind of neat. Forgivability, EIDL is 0. No forgivability for the loan. The advance is 100% forgivable if you got it. PPP, potentially up to 100% forgivability. Depends on how you document everything. What you're allowed to spend your money on, For EIDL, it's all operating expenses, COGS, interest, debt payments. For PPP, it's 60% or more on payroll costs, which includes state taxes, like benefits, employee compensation, sick paid leave, all that great stuff, 401k contributions, SEP IRA if you're an individual owner. 40% or less on the following 3 items, which is rent, utilities, or mortgage interest monthly payments. Like if you have a loan on the building that you work in, that you have your business in. What you can't use your money on is for EIDL, you can't use it for expansion equipment. You can't pay off full amounts of loans. So like if you owe 50 grand on a credit card or a quick piece of equipment or some other loan, like a working capital loan, you can't take the EIDL and completely pay it off, but you can pay the monthly payment for it. PPP, you can't use the money for workman's comp. You can, but it won't be forgiven. I mean, you can do whatever you want with PPP, but it won't be forgiven. But you can't use it for workman's comp and get it forgiven. You can't use it for federal taxes and get it forgiven. And anything that's not part of the 4 uses, which is RUPE, it's a funny acronym, but it's RUPE, it's rent, utilities, payroll costs, and any interest mortgage payments. So that's our chart. All right, local and national lenders. You can go to sba.gov//paycheck protection program. Paycheck protection /find. Type in zip code, and you can find all the lenders around your area. It's kind of cool. It works really well. There's more on there now than there was when they first launched this thing for PPP, because now it's more about the smaller banks, the credit unions, the CDFIs, than it is about big banks, which is really cool. Local lenders, we work real closely with Banner Bank. We work with them, they work with us. There's a local guy here, his name is Brian Maida. He's one of 2 people that is processing all these loans at PPP. They're taking non-customers, which is cool. We've had issues with that with banks in the past. So this bank, Banner, is taking, they're more like Sacramento North, but they're taking non-customers. Just email this guy, Brian. National PPP lenders, the best one that we found, there's a bunch of them. There's probably about 15 or maybe 1,000, who knows. But the best one we found, where you you go to bluevine.com. You click apply now, and they're an aggregator. They're going to do better than you are, than we are, than anybody else, really. Maybe not as good as SBA, but you can apply now, and they can shop the market for you for like thousands of lenders across the country, and they can place capital within a day. They're awesome. They're crushing it. State guarantee. So SBA, so EIDL is a direct loan from SBA. SBA jumps, they grab into their bank account, they give you a loan. PPP is lenders grabbing into their bank account, giving you a loan, and the SBA guarantees it. So that's all federally funded loans, EIDL PPP. State loan guarantee is actually, it's a state loan guarantee. It's not a federal loan guarantee. So these are loans that are done from everyday lenders like PPP. It's like a bank money, and then the state will guarantee it. California State, imagine that. This state guarantee program is run through what are called FDCs, Financial Development Corporations. There's 7 in the state. This is a California State thing. It's run through a organization called iBank. You don't need to really know too much about them. They're kind of like hidden. They're invisible. That's why they're called iBank. And they guarantee the loan like SBA would guarantee a loan. So we have one in Sacramento, which is cool. Sacramento North. We work with them. They're called California Capital. They have a great team over there. Debbie Miramoto is the CEO. They do excellent things, and we work with them directly, so we can get you connected to them if you're in like Sacramento North, like Sacramento, like East and West, North. If you were to draw a line, we can help you with that. There's one in Oakland called NorCal SBDC. We have 2 in NorCal, which is R2 for our whole territory, because we have 2 SBA district offices. We have Sacramento, which we have representatives from, and then we have San Francisco. And we all lost Noah. So Noah was the guy that we had from San Francisco. So NorCal FDC, they're in Oakland. Sanford is the CEO over there. Great guy, excellent team. They do a lot of great things. They cover the Bay Area for us for the state loan guarantees. These loans are between $5,000 and $1 million. Oh my gosh, look at that, going crazy. All right, $5,000 to $1 million. We help you find the lender. So you need to come to us first. You can't necessarily go to FDC, just like you don't go to SBA and say, hey, I want to apply for a loan. Tell me the lenders, right? Like you don't really do that. You find a lender first, then we get a guarantee, SBA or state. So we can help you find the lenders. They're going to want to see your financials. So that's why we start with collecting financials first. The rates are between 4.25, which is 1 over prime, to 5.25, which is 2 over prime. The deferral depends on the lender. So they're not making your payments like SBA is for any new loans or existing loans for 6 months outside of EIDL. The 6-12 months deferral, and then there is a 2 to 3% guarantee loan fee that you get to pay for as a borrower or a business owner. That can be incorporated into your loan, so you don't have to pay out of pocket. So if you were to get a $100,000 loan, 3% would be $3,000. That's how that works. And then the banks may have a little bit of fees, but just like PPP, these banks are looking to do no fees for these loans, which is great. All right, so direct city county loans. Sacramento City is launching their $25,000 per business, up to $25,000 per business. 100% forgiven grant. It's not a loan, so don't pay it back. So they're just giving money away. Look at that, Sacramento City. If you qualify, there's a $15 million loan fund. So you do the math, 15 million divided by 25,000. It's about 600 loans, 600 businesses. Unless people got less, then it'd be more. So, yeah. So there's also this direct loan fund. It's an EDA grant. EDA stands for Economic Development Agency. I think it's federal, but in Sacramento, Yolo, Placer, El Dorado, Nevada counties, you can get loans between 1 and 150,000. There is a 3% loan fee that you can incorporate into the loan. Rates are as low as 1%, more likely going to be around 3 or 4, but they're as low as 1, 5 to 7 year terms. Those are great loans. We're doing a bunch of those and helping lots of great businesses out. So if you're one of those business owners in those 5 counties, we can help you. There's a resilience fund out of Nevada County that you can qualify for. There's an SBDC that we have in Truckee. They're helping the Nevada, Placer, and El Dorado counties navigate this, the business owners in those areas. So Kristen York and Jessica Carr out of that office of SBDC, they're here to help you at resiliencefund.org. The Bay Area, there's a bunch more. The Bay is vast, as we all know, but here's some of them. There's an African American Small Business Revolving Loan Fund. If you're in the arts industry, there's a loan fund for that. If you're HUD Section 108, there's business loans. There's a resilience loan fund, another revolving loan fund, and then Southeast Asian Community Center Fund. So yeah, so all different types of minority loan funds, which is cool in the Bay Area. All right. So those are all the funds that we know about today in the state of California or NorCal, and we wanted to bring that to you. So what can we do for you to get money? We can do a lot at no cost. We could be like your, a great word for what we do is we're kind of like your loan therapist. That doesn't exist yet, but I think it will today. I think Alan's going to go patent that or trademark it or something like that. A loan therapist. So we could be like your CPA, your bookkeeper, your tax accountant at no cost. We can do a quick fundability test, make sure you are fundable. Everyone is bankable. So we don't use that word. Everybody can put money in a bank and let it sit there and yada, yada, right? But we make sure that you're fundable. See if you can actually afford a loan, a business loan. Just if you go try to buy a house, you actually get pre-qualified. When you try to go get a business loan, it doesn't exist to be pre-qualified. So that's why you come to SBDC land, and we can do that for you at no cost. It's really cool. If you don't have stellar credit, we can help you write a letter of explanation, like what happened, bankruptcy, short sale, foreclosure, child support, alimony, tax lien, whatever. We can help you with that. We can help you collect and organize all your financials. We can put it in a really cool little secure link. So you send us 20 documents, we put it in a link, and you're good to go. You can transfer it anywhere you want at no cost. That includes like your personal financial statement to find out your net worth, your collateral, what you have, what you're bringing to the table, what banks can latch onto. We collect business and personal taxes, help you kind of organize all that. Any year-to-date income statements and balance sheets if you're an existing business. Like right now, year-to-date would be from January 1st to June 30th is the most year-to-date financials for balance sheet and income statement to see where you are. If you're working and that is part of the money that's going to help pay back the loan, then we're going to ask for your current 30-day pay stub. All right. since COVID happened and COVID's never happened before, these banks are going to want expansion plans if you're existing. They're going to want business plans if you're not existing. They're going to want to know what the heck is going on. How are you going to make money? How are you going to survive COVID? How are you going to survive going out of business? How are you going to do all this? We can do all these plans for you at no cost, with you, not for you, because we don't know your business, but with you. And some projections, forecasting. Forecasting is super hard to do right now because we have no idea what's going to happen. We've been going through life the last 120 days through COVID, and it's been pretty much miserable. And we have no idea what's going to happen in the next 6 months or next year. You know, we can help you kind of put that together and talk about it and see what makes sense. So we can essentially help you pre-qualify you and your business for a business loan, which is not possible when you go to a bank. They have regulations. They can't do that for you. We can. And we'll help you get introduced to lenders, not one. We don't play favoritism. We help you get to like multiple lenders, like 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't make sense to apply it a bunch because your credit will suffer, but we help you have those conversations up front so you don't have to actually apply for a bunch of them. You just have a bunch of really cool conversations to see if they want to entertain the deal or not. We can do that with you at no cost. That's what we specialize in. At the Finance Center, that's what we specialize in NorCal SBDC. We have 18 centers, about over 500 advisors available to you at no cost. All right, so if you're a startup or you're expanding or you want to buy a business, it's all the same financing for the most part. Some of you may say, well, this is not true, Scott, and you're right. It's not true for everyone that this is the right financing, one type, is for everyone, but this is the most common in the years of my experience and Sunita's experience. This is the most common. An SBA 7A, it's just the code, don't worry what it means, is the most common. It's 10 years, mostly 10 years. You can do a 3 or 5 or 7 year, but why talk about those? Let's talk about 10 years. The rates right now are between 4.25 and 6. There's other loans that might be a little higher, but those are the best rates that I know of. If you want to figure out how to qualify and see if it fits your budget, you can do, for every $25,000 that you want, if you want 100, it's $300 a month payment. So 100 grand, 100 divided by 25 is 4 times 300 is $1,200 a month. That's how you figure out if you can actually afford it. 7A loans are mostly common for equipment, working capital needs, which is like staffing, marketing, inventory, COGS, cost of goods, rent, or improvements. All right, there's a lot of information on this slide. All you gotta know is that if you wanna buy a building, land, or you wanna build a building, for whatever reason you wanna build a building, you can get an SBA 504 or 7A. They're kind of like the same thing when it comes to building, land, and construction. It just depends on the lender. The best term, if you ask me, for cash flow is 25 years. You can get a 15 or 20 year, but 25 is the best if you ask me. There's 2 separate loans. The structure is below. You put down 10% of the building loan, the building value. SBA will fund you 40%. That current rate is roughly right around 2.41 for 25 years. Super low, like lower than low, really. Lower than prime. It's crazy. The bank lender rate is 50% of the building value. Those rates range between 3.75 and 5.5. They can be higher than 5.5, I get it, but that's the most common right now because banks want to do loans. They want to stay in business too, those banks, so they want to do loans. The blended rate is if you add the 2.41 plus the 3.75 and divide it by 2, that's called a blended rate. The blended rate from SBA and bank lender is 3.08 in this scenario all the way till 4. If you take 2.41 divided by 5.5, it's roughly around 4, like 3.95. So that means if you buy a building for $500,000, it's just an example. It's not the minimum for buildings. The minimum for buildings depends on the lender. Usually the lowest is like 200 maybe. But if you want to buy a building at 250, you would just divide all these numbers by 2. If you want to buy a building for $1 million, you just multiply these numbers by 2. 500 grand is roughly between 2,400 if you use 3.08 and 2,700 if you use the rate of 4 monthly payment. So if your loan number, meaning your loan monthly payment number, is less than your rent, if 2,400 is less than what you pay for your building, then you could buy a loan. I'm sorry, buy a loan. You could buy a building, which is pretty amazing. If you didn't know you could buy a building, you could buy a building. We can help you figure this out, help you have these negotiations with your landlord, your tenant, the person that owns the building, whomever. Landlords are also losing their shirt right now too. So they may be wanting to offload the building at a lower cost or lower value because they just want to get away because it's rough out there for everyone right now. So those are the loans. That's how we can help you. Now we're at SBA Support. We have 3 people now. Look at that. They just keep coming out of the woodworks. We got David Castaneda, we got Janelle Green, and then we have the interim deputy director, Carrie Ellenwood. This is their slide. The SBA loan support. If you have an existing SBA 7A or 504 or a micro loan, SBA will, that's an SBA loan. SBA will pay the payment for the first 6 months. If you have an existing loan, they will pay the payments for the next 6 months. That should already be in the processing of your loan if you have an existing SBA loan. But if you get any new SBA loan, 504 SBA 7A, the ones I went over, then from now till September 27th, SBA will pay the payment for the first 6 months principal and interest at no cost, meaning you don't have to pay it back. It's not a deferral. It doesn't accrue and add to the back. It's pretty amazing. There's some disaster contact info here. And then now I'll roll it over to Carrie Ellenwood to do an SBA update. Or maybe Janelle or David wants to do an SBA update or something like that.
Everyone seems to be muted right now. Janelle's unmuted. Hi, Janelle.
Hi, everyone. Hello.
Hi there.
Oh, this is Carrie. I didn't unmute my phone. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay, just wanted to give you guys some updates on the paycheck protection lending and EIDL lending, a few other things as well. As of the 13th, for paycheck protection, we have 4,921,227 loans that have been made for small businesses by our lending partners for $517,682,716,000. Our average loan size is at $105,194. So they're going down, which is good. So if you are a small business and you still need that paycheck protection loan, please reach out to your lender, or you can go to our website and we have a lender match link there for you to find one. In addition, our EIDL numbers have not updated since July 3rd. As Scott mentioned, the EIDL advance has been canceled. Those funds have been fully allocated to small businesses, so they will not be taking those applications any longer. As of July 3rd, there have been 2,235,192 EIDL loans that have been funded for $134,631,289,000. In addition to the EIDL loans for the COVID-19 emergency, there were EIDL funds allocated for the civil unrest damage that occurred in Sacramento as well as some other cities in the state. If you have experienced that, if your small business had the civil unrest damage, what this loan is for is not to repair those damages, but it's for your ongoing businesses. So it's not for physical damage, it's for the economic injury disaster loan damage. So the way to access those funds, and I think Sunita is going to be able to share that for me, is through the Office of Disaster Assistance Virtual Business Recovery Center. It's open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And you can reach them at 916-735-1500. There's also an email, FOCW-assistance@sba.gov. And that is all I have. I think Janelle might have a few things she'd like to add as well.
Thank you, Carrie. Yeah, I just have a few highlights from our outreach calendar. So our webinar series with Sacramento State continues today at 1 p.m. It's session 5 of 7 in our series. And today's webinar will focus on marketing lessons from the pandemic and implications for the future. Additionally, every Thursday, our district is delivering webinars on SBA resources to help businesses rebound from the COVID-19 crisis. And the presentation is an hour long. It provides an overview of COVID-19 assistance programs as we're discussed today, but also our standard SBA loan programs, federal contracting programs, and assistance that's available through our resource partners. So feel free to join us. You can view our webinar dates and register by going to the district office website. That website address is sba.gov/ca/Sacramento. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, SBA. Let's see here. All right. So these are reopening webinars from NorCal SBDC. Maybe we will have Alan do a poll and see what else you'd like to learn.
You told me to come up with an imaginative poll, and I have one ready
Oh,
for when the questions slow down.
Okay. Check you out, man. Well, I bet you can do two at the same time. I bet you can create another one too.
So you've got one on, what do you want one
Scott,
on?
I wanted to let everybody know that on ASKSBDC.com, there is a calendar there, and you can look on the calendar for all the different webinars that are available in your area and regionally, which is a great resource. So if you want to spend some more time with us, you can go there and look to see what we have to offer at ASKSBDC.com. They revamped it a little bit, so there's more information there for you as well. So it's a great resource, I believe.
Awesome. Thanks, Cindy. So yeah, so we have on the list here, today is the 15th, so half of this is already gone, but I think most of the webinars they have links so that you can click on them and you can go through them if you want to like revisit them, like lease negotiations for restaurants and retail, which is very important to most of our clients. And then coming up tomorrow, are you ready for Amazon? I don't know. I think what the real question should be is Amazon ready for you? But yeah,
that's a great one by Bobby Chang, who's going to be talking about how you can make sure that how you can make sure you get your business plan aligned so that you can successfully launch on Amazon. It's in two parts. The first part is about getting that alignment, and then right at the end of the month, we've got the second part about getting you launched. So those are really exciting. I've seen the script. It looks fantastic.
All right. Well, Alan's very excited about that for everyone. If you're not excited, I think he's got enough excitement for everyone about that. So that's exciting. And then also on the 16th in the afternoon, if you want to learn how to speak Spanish, no, I'm joking, but if you speak Spanish, you could jump on this webinar and you could learn some cool things in Spanish with Oscar Garcia and his team at California Hispanic Chamber. On the 21st, you can also learn some more Spanish. And then the 23rd, you can do like some social media selling, part one, kind of pick your platform. You know, what are you going to sell on? You know, whether it be Instagram or Facebook, you know, all that great stuff. Also diversity and inclusion in the workplace, some more Spanish on the 28th, and then Amazon part 2. Is Amazon ready for you again? Look at that. All right. So we have a phone number. We prefer that you call the phone number to contact us. It's the easiest way for you to get a hold of us. It's the fastest way for you to get a hold of us. And it's 833-ASK-SBDC. We're here for you. You can go to ASKSBDC.com. Sunita spoke about that. And that is a really cool, great resource and a lot of great things on there. You can email us if you want to. We prefer that you call us, but you can email us if that's the best for you. It's at loans@asksbdc.com. We'll get back to you within a day, or hopefully same day. If you want to speak Spanish or you speak Spanish and you want all this in Spanish, tomorrow, every Thursday, the Spanish, the California Hispanic Chamber SBDC is one of our affiliate programs. It's out of Sacramento. They have these Thursday webinars in Spanish. Everything we're doing in English, they have in Spanish, and Alan can put that in the chat. And you can email them at espanol@asksbdc.com, or you can call the 833 number and press a button. I'm not sure if it's 2 or 3, but you can press a button and you can talk to somebody in Spanish. All right, cool. We are going to go to the Q&A. And it's good stuff. Looks like Sunita has already answered 36. So thank you, Sunita. And then we'll go into, see what we can do here. All right. Tim.
Paragraphs, they're all paragraphs here, Scott. No simple ones for you.
Yeah.
I did answer some hard ones, but there's a lot of questions, Scott, in regards to people not getting their advance. You know, they've been in queue for a long time. They haven't gotten their advance. Are they going to get their advance? So there's still a lot of questions on that.
Yeah. That's,
Hi, Scott. This is Carrie. I can take that one. So if they have applied for their loan and the advance and it has not funded, those funds have been exhausted. So it's likely that they will not receive their advance if they have not received it at this point. It's possible that there's, you know, they've been in the queue for a while, but again, they were going through these requests as they came in. So it's unlikely if they don't have it that they will receive it after Monday was when they closed that program off. Thank you, Scott.
thanks, Carrie.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thanks, Sunita. Thanks, Carrie. Bring it up. Okay. Let's see here. So I need recommendations for PPP lenders that will do small loans, less than 10,000 to business that only had 2 months of operation before the shutdown. Client has already tried PayPal, the Opportunity Fund, and Lendistry. Well, David, I tried Bluevine, unless Sunita says they don't work, but I mean, I haven't heard of a, what's it called? A loan restriction amount from Bluevine yet. I just sent you their email, their website. All right, Alan, here's one for you. This lady says, can we download this Q&A at the end? Great answers, but I can't listen and write all at the same time. LOL.
No, you can't. It is a simple option. So we will be sending out, you can review this. It takes about half a day and it ends up on our YouTube channel, which I've put into the chat. So you could watch it again if you had a memory about where the question was. Or if there's a specific question you really want a detailed answer to, I would suggest sending the email to loans@asksbdc.com.
All right. Will the webinar at 1 just mentioned be linked in the chat? I don't know, EM Hedrick.
Which?
I don't know, he doesn't say.
So all the webinars, you can get to all of them on that calendar address, which if you, I'll bring that back up in a second, but I'll put the calendar address in the chat, and it takes us to all of the, it gives you the chance to link to all of them.
All right, sounds good. Okay. Is the SBA going to come up with an Excel worksheet listing items that are inclusive on forgiveness items and labor input to support small business, trying to ensure they are submitting and getting the most out of the PPP forgiveness loan? So Ernesto, SBA is not the beholder of the PPP forgiveness loan. The Treasury is, and you can go to the Treasury website. Maybe Alan or Sunita can put the Treasury website in there for the new PPP forgiveness application, which hasn't changed since probably about a month. Ernesto, is SBA going to come up with an Excel spreadsheet listing on the items that you can spend on? Oh, it looks like you're just PPP. So yeah, the forgiveness, Ernesto, there's an application that you can download on the Treasury website that you can.
I put those in the chat.
Yeah.
The full one and the easy one, the forms and the instructions.
Okay, EM Hendrick is saying that the one today at 1.
Yeah, that's from the SBA. I don't have details of that, but maybe Janelle could throw those in the chat for us, or Carrie, or if. Gary, if you can't get to that, if you send me an email, I'll throw it in the chat as quickly as I see it.
Thank you, Ellen. My internet is not allowing me to stay connected via that way. The easiest place for people to find out about the classes that Janelle mentioned, if they go to the sba.gov/ca/Sacramento, our calendar is there. All those are listed on the calendar, and they can register for that event right there. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So I was called out by this guy named Kevin Hogan that says, learn Spanish, ? Bad joke, and I should apologize for making a bad, socially unacceptable joke. So I apologize, Kevin, if I offended you, and I apologize if I offended anyone else. We just received documents from a lender we applied 2 months ago for PPP. We just received documents from a lender we applied 2 months ago. We received a PPP from another company a long time ago. We asked the company that recently offered the PPP to cancel the application, have the rules changed with the extension of PPP, second permitting us to accept. Yeah, the second. So surely we haven't heard any legislation that says you can have 2 PPP loans or like a second PPP loan. The fact that you got approved for 2 has happened a few times, but you should not accept the second one. And I mean, I don't know if Carrie has a different explanation for that.
Thank you, Scott. No, I don't. Actually, you are only eligible for 1 Paycheck Protection Program loan at this time. And although the lender may have been able to put that in the system, you would not be eligible to receive it, because once that comes through, then it'll show that you've already received your Paycheck Protection Program loan, and that one would not be able to be funded.
Okay, thank you. I did receive PPP money. I never received the $10,000 emergency grant, but was approved for $150,000. I called SBA. They noted that if I was approved for the $150 loan, I should have received the $10,000 prior, but they were aware of the problem and just wait. And I should receive an email asking me for my EIN or social sign and email back. It's been a few weeks and no email. How can I get info on the receive the 10,000 grants? All right, Ernesto. You have a very specific question, and I'm going to reply to you. Let's see, I don't know how to answer
Scott?
your question. Yeah.
Hi, Scott. This is Carrie. What Ernesto can do is if he calls our district office, we might be able to assist him with that at 916-735-1700. We have someone that might be able to assist you with that question, Ernesto. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks. Thank you, Carrie. I have a question about the EIDL loan payments. I did speak with Jennifer, and she mentioned to send the email to sfo@mail@sba.gov. Got an email back with generic response. The payment they mentioned does not match the amortization calculator I'm using. Is that the way they calculate differently? Any help? Yeah. I've seen this come across. Like, if you take a amortization calculator and you take 3.75% for 30 years and you amortize it, the payment is a little bit different than what is on the paperwork for SBA. And I'm not sure who can help figure that out, Carrie, or if they should just call Disaster and have them explain it to them.
Hi, Scott. This is Carrie. Yes, they're going to need to speak with someone in Disaster. Excuse me. I don't have access to that calculator and how they come through with those loan payment amounts. So please just do call the Disaster organization, and they can help you with that.
All right, cool. Thank you. In 2019, business was a partnership. In 2020, client acquired it, and a significant component of the 2019 income was the partnership reported as K1. Is this K1 eligible for PPP? Well, no, I don't. I don't think so, Laura, because it wasn't the initial owner. So I don't think so, but I don't know. Do you know, Carrie?
Scott, off the top of my head, I don't know, but I do believe that that would not be eligible for the PPP.
Yeah, I think so. Somebody says, yes, Bluevine is awesome. In all caps, I helped a client apply for PPP with them last week, and the interface experience speed were top notch. Yeah, they're crushing it. Bluevine is crushing it. FinTech is taking over. Can a partner of a current partnership which received an EIDL loan acquire an SBA 7A loan or other type of loan to buy out the existing partner who wishes to retire and take on current EIDL loan? Yeah, you can do that. You can get, it doesn't matter if a business received an EIDL loan or not for you to get another loan to buy it out. I mean, if you want to, can a partner of a current partnership receive an EIDL loan, acquire an SBA loan or type? Yeah, you can get a SBA loan to buy out another partner. You get to buy out 100% with an SBA 7A loan. You can't buy out partial. So you get to buy the whole company, your ownership, their ownership, and have to equal 100% for you to be able to buy it. So yeah, that is possible, Dawn. You can do that. It'd be great to break up your webinars into categories, PPP info, SBA loans, etc., so we can hone in on more detailed subjects. So Ernesto, that's a good idea. Just that there's not a lot of info on PPP and EIDL that changes. It's pretty much what it is. We've been talking about it for 42 sessions now. So if you want something specific, Ernesto, then yeah, you should call us. And we can help you, man. We can help you with whatever you want. We can have a full conversation all by ourselves with you. Just call us, please. Talk about it.
And on Mondays, we go a little bit more in depth in the PPP and the EIDL. So Mondays, we go a little bit more in depth. On Wednesdays, we're doing different loans. We're trying to just morph this into what people want, and from some of the different polls that we have used in the last 2 weeks, this is kind of what formats most people wanted. So definitely, Ernesto, if you want to come back on Monday and look at that webinar, or just call us directly, 833-ASK-SBDC. We can have an advisor work with you one-on-one.
Yeah, one of my advisors just reminded me through text that the amortization payment might be a little off because the loan is deferred for 11 months. I'm not sure how they're doing that. I'm not sure if they're taking, if you take your loan amount and times it by 0.0375%, that would tell you your annual percentage. And if you divide that by 12, that'll tell you your monthly percentage for that year, the first year. So if you were to take that and times it by 11, that'd be 11 months, and you put that on the back end of the loan and then amortize it for, not 30 years, but 29 years and 1 month, then maybe it would work out. I don't know. So I haven't done all those calculations yet, but maybe that's why. We could figure it out later. Maybe talk about it next week. EIDL question, I'm a sole proprietor and use my home address by mistake instead of my business address. I have a loan number, got the advance, but still waiting for next steps regarding loans. What should I do to correct this? So Richard.
Scott, this is another person that might want to call our district office number, the 916-735-1700.
And I put that in the chat a couple of minutes ago.
Thank you.
If I started my home-based business at the end of 2019 and the pandemic disrupted my business, can I get help with reorganization and getting a loan? Yes, you can, Laurice. Just call us. Call us at 833-ASK-SBDC, and we can help you at no cost. All right, look at that. We answered 74 questions. Thanks to Sunita, she answered about half of them before we jumped into them. So 11:22. I think Alan is finger happy. He's like trigger happy right now. He's gonna launch a poll or 3. Or
yes.
10.
So my briefing was something to do with loans. Was the poll. So I'm going to launch the poll now. This is not current loans, but these are Shakespearean loans. So two questions about loans. So there's a famous Shakespeare play, a play that had a famous scene discussing loan forgiveness. And there's also another quote There's another Shakespeare play which has the quote, "Neither a borrower nor a lender be."
No way. This is
What?
joke. You're joking, right? Like,
I'm serious. Those are both in there. So, and people are voting, and I'm seeing most people voting right on the first one, and interestingly enough, most people voting wrong on the second one.
Look at that, man. You are a clever little guy there, aren't you?
Yeah.
After we get through this amazing history lesson, which I failed at in school, we can ask the one question I want to ask. But you crushed it, man. You totally trumped me. Good for you. For the idle loan amount, when do I calculations at 3.75 annual rate using a loan calculator? The monthly loan payments are less than SBA's quote. Did SBA calculate the monthly payment incorrectly? How to ask them to correct it? Well, Alex, I don't think they're going to correct anything. I mean, it is a document. It's a loan document. They're not going to correct it. I don't know if we're all going to be on the same page with these calculations. We're going to have to probably contact our, NASA scientist, and he's going to help us figure this out. I don't know, to answer your question. But we'll figure it out. It's come up a few times on this call and the other calls. So we'll figure it out. It shouldn't be that hard.
And if they're asking for less than you think it's going to cost, and that's what the loan doc says, then that sounds like a win to me.
Sounds like a win to me too.
All right, so we've had 2 minutes. So you had 36 people have voted in this. I'll let you answer another questions coming in the Q&A.
Yeah, there is a Riverside SBDC. Where's
if you go to ASBDC.com,
no, just
ASBDC.
Just call us at 833. We got authorization to help everybody and anybody. So just call us, Diane. We can help you. And then if you want to get connected to somebody locally in Riverside, we can do that too. Can we use the idle loan to buy equipment? Also, can we take less amount than approved? So John, you can take less than approved. I don't recommend it because what we've been hearing from a lot of clients is that they take less than approved, then the world shut down, and then now they want more and they can't go back and get more. It's super hard to go back and get more. So yeah, of course you can take less. I don't recommend it, but you can. You can do whatever you want. Can you use the loan to buy equipment? So if you, not initially you can't use the idle loan to buy equipment, but if you, maybe Carrie can better answer this, but if you had reoccurring equipment buying like every month in 19, like you bought a computer every month or you bought some equipment throughout the year, and that's normal practice, and you divide it by 12, and you find out a regular amount that you spent on equipment per month, then it could be okay. Is that true, Carrie, or no?
Yes, Scott, that's the intent of the idle loan is for your ongoing operating expenses. So if you have ongoing payments on equipment that you need to make, that would be considered operating expenses, but you could not, let's say, if you had a $50,000 idle loan, take $10,000 and pay for a piece of equipment. That's not what those proceeds are calculated for. But let's say you had an existing loan on a piece of equipment, you could continue to make those equipment payments.
Alrighty, I'm going to close off the poll and share the results and share the actual answers as well. So I'm going to close off the poll. So the vast majority of people got the first question right. 2/3 got the question if there's the Merchant of Venice, discussing at the final scene where Shylock is being asked to release his loan or forgive his loan, and he says no and gets in all sorts of trouble as a result. And that's what people thought the final question, neither a borrower nor a lender be. A lot of people thought that was Merchant of Venice as well, but it wasn't. That's actually a line from Hamlet where Polonius, the king's assistant, is giving his son advice before he goes off to university. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. And that was the Shakespearean loan poll.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's great, man. Can you run another poll real quick? I'm very impressed by this. But can you run like a yes/no question poll? Like
Sure. Well, actually, the yes/no we could do really quickly by getting everyone to raise their hand if they think it's a good idea.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. If people know how to raise their hand.
Yeah. It's the box. There's 3 buttons at the bottom of your screen. The one in the middle is raised hand. Okay. So put your hands down, everybody, until he asks you the question.
All right. So, how many of you would like us to do a webinar like this, where we bring on some lenders and we ask questions and kind of match you up with lenders to get the financing that you need outside of PPP and EIDL, just like other generic loans, like we talked about.
Okay.
How many of you would like that? Like
I'm
a
seeing...
webinar where we bring lenders on as panelists as well. SBA will be there too to answer questions about SBA.
Okay. So I'm seeing 22 hands up, 23, and someone has put the words "a lot" in the Q&A. So 25. So about 25% of people have responded, which is pretty high compared to what we've had before. So I think it's something that people would like to see.
Okay, cool, good stuff. Then we'll figure out how to bring it to you. Since we have Friday off for the webinar, we will we'll be working diligently to figure that out.
Okay, hands down.
Yep, cool. Until 11:29, we'll cut the call. We appreciate everybody jumping on today. Happy Wednesday. Hope you have a rest of the good week. You can call us and talk to us. So just because we're not doing a webinar Friday doesn't mean that we're not in the office or not answering the phones. We still receive calls daily. We still have people working the calls and the call log. And our goal is to get to you as soon as you call us, like immediately, simultaneously, place you with an advisor or get you connected to your local center if that's best for you. And yeah, so thank you very much. Hope you guys have a great day.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, thank you.